This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls and the crew.
Good morning.
Where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Good morning, good morning. Right back like we never left. Another Saturday morning with the W Show Kansas City, talking sports and pop culture. You're listening to the W Show on 100.1 FM, 1 Kansas City Radio, watching us live on one of our social media pages. If this is your first time checking us out, we definitely appreciate it. Thank you for making us part of your day. As always, my name is Steve Walls, and I'm always joined by the other host of the show, DJ Q, Jazz, and Noah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, y'all sound like y'all have a little turkey hangover. What's up with that?
Turkey hangover, huh?
Yeah, a little turkey hangover, man. What's your favorite go-to Thanksgiving dish?
Omelet.
Yeah.
Like everything, huh?
Everything.
Yeah, it's everything. We indulged the other day on greens and cornbread. So
late night, a little after dinner snack, and went crazy.
Yeah. I think the second day is always better to me.
Facts.
I like the second day because you can really pick what you want to do. Like, you don't have to get everything. You can kind of pick and choose.
No, it's
And
always everything. You got it. It always just makes
you run everything back.
Oh, run it back 2-3 times.
Really? I'm gonna give everything the run the first maybe second time around, but after that I'm picking and choosing my leftovers because I can't eat it all. Like, I can't stuff myself like again.
That's the point. Like, yeah, you have to. But like, what's the, speaking of leftovers, what's the like the limit? Like, is there a day limit, or is it 2 days, 3 days?
No,
after
till
Thanksgiving?
it's gone.
2 days. 2 days. I can't do it after that. I cannot. Yeah.
Oh, see, and this is where you guys got to start getting imaginative. You know, you got to make omelets with it. You could make nachos. You could make. There's a lot of things you could make. Like, you could just keep running it back. The turkey, you could make like a chicken salad sandwich with turkey. You know, it's a lot that you could do with it, and it lasts over here
till it's gone for me.
Yeah, Jazz is like 2 days, and I'm back to Shake Shack. All right, coming up on today's show, the NFL and the city of St. Louis agreed to $790 million settlement in Rams relocation lawsuit. And also sticking with the Rams, wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. to convert his salary into Bitcoin in a Cash App partnership. I got a lot to say about that. And another topic I can't wait to talk about is Stephen A. Smith. He says that NBA players don't fear LeBron James, and I happen to agree. And coming up in about 30 minutes, we will have our Sneakers of the Week during our Hater 11 segment. Let's get to today's headlines.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew. And now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. We bring them to you every Saturday morning on the W with Walls and the Crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
The NFL and City of St. Louis have agreed to a $790 million settlement in Rams relocation lawsuit. Owner Stan Kroenke have reached the settlement with the City of St. Louis over the team's relocation to Los Angeles, according to St. Louis Post-Dispatch report. And the announcement is expected Wednesday. Steve, we'll start with you.
Look, I think the NFL kind of let themselves off the hook. You know, and I thought the city of St. Louis was going to just let it play out until they got a new team sponsored by the NFL, an expansion team, right? Because the Rams owner, Stan Kroenke, he took the Rams from them, and I didn't feel like they needed to be moved to a new location. Of course, I think he wanted like a new stadium, and he said, hey, if I can't get this new stadium done, then I want to take my team elsewhere. And so I feel like the city of St. Louis let the NFL off the hook, and the NFL, I thought that they were going to have to pay more, or just have to, give this city a stadium. I mean, not a stadium, but a team. And they got off the hook. It's like, no, we're not giving y'all a team. We'll give y'all $790 million, and then y'all make do with that. And then you probably still won't get a team for the next 10, 12 years. So I think, Stan Kroenke and the Rams and the NFL got off scot-free with this one.
Yeah, I really think they got off pretty cheap. You look at, the city of St. Louis really could use a little over $1 billion that they would have gotten. Like Steve said, had they let it play out. But partly I think they won. They're pretty close to $1 billion, a little over $750 million. That can go a long way in a city in St. Louis that could use some services that help the citizens, and that don't just allocate all of their money to the police. And so, yes, that's something that could definitely help that city. And they won in some aspects. You would just hope that, that they could get a little more, but they could turn that into it. And then they really kind of flipped it on its head, because usually the city would pay these rich billionaire owners, would pay for their stadium. And so he had to go out there and shell out of his pocket, and he thought he was going to, really get the system of how it's been rigged for so long. But now that a light has been shown on the NFL, kudos to the city of St. Louis for getting that. Of course, they would want a football team, but where would you put another expansion team? Like, what city would you do? And that I think they didn't want to go through that so soon.
Yeah, I think it stinks for St. Louis. I mean, they got their money, which is always good. But it just stinks because now there's the only major team that St. Louis has is, the Cardinals.
No, the Blues.
They have the Blues as well.
Yeah.
But how often do we hear about the St. Louis Blues?
All the time. They're always winning.
I mean, how often do we?
It's not in hockey. That's all.
I was just gonna let's be real here. Out of the 4 American major sports, how often do we hear about hockey unless you are a hockey fan? Now, you hear about the Blackhawks, you hear about the Blackhawks, you hear about maybe the New York Rangers. You really just don't hear. You just really don't hear about hockey teams like that. So what I'm saying is, when I say major sports, I'm talking about the 2 major ones. I'm talking about the basketball and the football. They have neither. They haven't had basketball for a very long time, and now it's been years they don't have football. They're a city that deserves it. I feel like a lot of people are kind of pulling out of St. Louis, so to speak. It just seems like nobody really wants to touch that city in the Midwest like that. So I personally think it stinks. I want another football team there. I want a basketball team there. I want that city to grow, and it just doesn't seem like it is. So for whatever reason, I just think this stinks.
Now, Odell Beckham Jr.'s bank account is definitely growing. He wants to convert his Rams salary into Bitcoin in Cash App partnership. Q, we'll start with you.
I love it for him. Even just looking back on past players, the Chiefs had a tight end that converted his salary to it. And then a bigger player, Russell Okung, turned his salary into Bitcoin. And I think Russell only did half of his salary, but he already doubled the $6 million that he put into it. So if you're Odell Beckham and you see a guy like that do it,
I think Q froze on us. Yeah, Q, you back? You froze up on us.
Yeah, I did freeze up on it. Go ahead, Q.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I like it for sure, but the thing about it is you talked about like Russell Okung and a few of those other guys that have done it. They weren't getting paid by Cash App. Look, it's smart on Odell Beckham Jr.'s part. However, a lot of what he does is for notoriety and stuff like that. Now, I can't be mad at that. Like, you're making money off of putting your money into something. However, I just don't know how much with this, I just don't know how much I believe in it, because he's getting paid to endorse a company. And normally, a lot of times when someone's paying you to endorse them, they're going to kind of tailor what they want you to say, or kind of it taints the water a little bit. So that just kind of makes me like, oh, well, maybe it ain't what it seems to be. Otherwise, more players would be doing it. But that being said, I mean, I think there's money in it. There's value to it. However, I think this kind of devalues it just a little bit, because now you have Cash App that's going to, let's say, sponsor a player to put their money into their company.
Steve, they're not going to put more players are not going to put their money into it. Like how many players were able to come together and get more money out of the owners? So they can't even negotiate that. So there's a lot of players that probably know nothing about cryptocurrency and really don't understand it. And then you have to have some sort of financial background to really understand it, and not necessarily a background being in that market, but really knowing money and being around money for so long. And I think a lot of those young players don't know anything about cryptocurrency or how it works.
Yeah, but it's kind of and I don't want to say blind leading the blind, but then again, it kind of really is.
It's-
When you look at like Odell Beckham Jr. saying, all right, because believe me, he has people that's pushing him to do it, like Cash
Of
App.
course.
And so without them, it's kind of like, all right, I'm Odell Beckham Jr. I come to you and say, Q, we play on the Rams together, and let's put our money into this cryptocurrency. Then it's blind lead blind. He's like, all right, well, I don't know much about it. Well, me either. Let's go holler at my boy over here. And then trust comes into play. And so now when I said, all right, Cash App is going to pay Odell Beckham Jr. to put his money in there, then how can other players trust him, because they're paying him to be a spokesman for their company? So now it's like, all right, blind leading the blind. He really don't know what it is. They're just paying him to do it.
As long as the returns come out on the end, I believe that more, and that just comes, like you said, trust. Trust only comes with time. As time progresses and Odell seems to, double, maybe triple his money, more players will understand, like, all right, well, maybe there's something to this. Maybe I should listen to him. Like, and I get the sponsorship part because it is somebody in your ear saying, hey, like, do this, say this, and then we'll pay you. Yeah. Like, I get that part, but I think the bottom line when it comes to this is just the return, the money. Like, what
That's
Odell
exactly what it
gets back from this will determine whether people decide to, take this route as well. And I mean, he's not the first, and I don't think he'll be the last person to do it. But I just think the bottom line is just what the money he gets out of it is. So
and that's all that it is. Steve's issue is that he got a sponsorship and partnership with Cash App, but Cash App did the same thing with Bitcoin. So now they have to get a return on their investment, and the return on their investment is getting people like OBJ to spread the word, to get people that are cool to spread the word. And I wouldn't even put it under that he doesn't understand that. This is Odell Beckham Jr., who's been a superstar for more than 10 years in American culture. And Steve is going to sit here and act like he doesn't understand money.
No. I'm not saying he doesn't understand money. I'm not saying he doesn't understand it. Basically, I guess my point is, would he have done it had Cash App, Bitcoin, or Cash App, not funded?
Yes, he probably would. But he's Odell Beckham Jr. So if you're gonna make a move like that, a historic move, which we've reported on the last 4 or 5 NFL players that have done it, but none of them got Cash App to sponsor it and to announce it. So yes, Odell Beckham is gonna put his money into that, but then he's also gonna get paid to help Cash App promote the move. Like, Steve, I don't understand. Steve, I don't understand what you're against in this. Like,
look, I'm not against anybody making money. I'm not against it. However, my thing was, it's how much do I really trust it? Because that's all I'm saying. It's like, how much do I really trust it?
Why do you trust making money?
No, it's like any other investment. It's just like any other investment.
Had they not come to him and said, all right, OBJ, we not giving you any money, but could you come out here and talk about us, and then also put your money into Bitcoin? Let's just see how much return. Is he that trustworthy enough to be like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and do it, and then like, all right, I put my money into here. This is what I'm getting my return. This is my returns. I like to just see, like, or if he agreed to do that for free.
If he has Russell Okung's number and he said, hey, you put $6.5 million into this and it returned you $7.3 million on top of that in a year, you wouldn't do it? Yes. All he has to do is text a few guys because they've made money off of it. Steve, I'm not understanding where Steve is saying blind.
I just don't. I know when
I think where he's going with it is like the actual, like the process. Like he's one of those people. I want to see all the details. I want to read the contracts. I want to that sort of thing. And that part I do get, because it's like, man, this is millions. Like, I'm actually investing millions into for you to make me millions. So I need to see everything, and that's okay. Yeah. That is okay, because I'm right there with you. But I do believe that at some point it's like an investment. You have to just let it, just have to let it kind of, all right, man, I put this money in. I did everything right. I read all my articles. I talked to all my people. I read all my contracts, talked to my lawyers. All right, man, let's do it. So that's just where it is. You just got to say.
Steve's still mad he didn't come to the Chiefs, and it's fine.
That's exactly what it is.
Hated it.
How much help does Patrick Mahomes need, man? Come on.
No, not at all. You know.
Jazz is on mute.
Yeah, Jazz muted herself. This next one is LeBron James suspended 1 game, and with Isaiah Stewart suspended 2 games after altercation. Now, LeBron will serve 1 game suspension after striking Detroit Pistons center Isaiah Stewart in the face while boxing out for a rebound. Let's take a look at what happened.
Comes Wayne Ellington. Well, again, the Lakers have been giving up a lot of points to stars recently. And then you saw Zach LaVine light him up, then Giannis, and then Jason Tatum. And tonight it's their number 1 guy, Jeremy Grant. Stewart and LeBron. Stewart is hot. And everybody's coming out now.
Now this is ridiculous. Yeah, he must have caught an elbow or something, but
oh yeah, he's got a lot of blood streaming from the side of the eye. Look, here goes Stewart.
yeah, I think he's a little upset.
You've got coaches, you got security guys. Look at Dwayne Casey's like, just calm down. And there's Cade Cunningham also.
It was along the free throw line on the free throw, and he's still trying to get loose.
He is knocking over. I mean, he's out of the game without question.
I mean,
it's like he's running through the line.
Yeah.
he was down by contact.
Yeah, he was really upset, man. I here's the thing about that. It's kind of crazy because I saw a lot of questions coming earlier this week. It's like, all right, well, should both of them have been suspended? Of course, LeBron got the 1 game and then he got 2. I thought he should have got more, honestly.
You thought who should have got more?
I thought I didn't think LeBron should have got more. I thought Isaiah Stewart should have got more.
Of course,
he stopped the whole game and then continued to try to run. It's like wrestling.
Yeah, that was dramatic. Like, and if I was the commissioner, I probably would have gave him somewhere 5 to 10 games because people are trying to de-escalate the situation, and you just keep going on and on. And even LeBron said it was unintentional, which I believe it because you see players swiping each other's hands away, especially when they're holding them. His face just happened to be there. And you could see, like, that was my first time watching the whole thing, and you could see LeBron like, oh, my bad, I didn't. And for him to take it to that, he was just being overly dramatic, but maybe he wanted his viral moment, and that was it.
Yeah, no, it's like he smelled blood, like, because he was cool.
Literally,
I walked up to him, he was cool, he didn't want the smoke, and then it's like something just clicked, like, wait a minute, and that's when he just went ham.
I just never understand. I never understand, like, people were saying, well, you don't know what it's like to, like, feel your own blood come down your face. And, like, first of all, I do.
Yeah.
I do. Second of all, how does that, like, completely change things? Like, he still elbowed you regardless. He still hit you in the face regardless. Like, why does the blood now, it makes you, like, are you a bull? You see red and, like, now you can't.
Some people
like
got that reaction, man.
I didn't understand it because it's just like, man, all right, if you wanted to fight him, there he was. Yeah. Right, to all 6'8", 250 of them, and you 6'10", about the same. Like, go at him, go ahead, slap him. Mm-hmm. Like, do what you gonna do. But he deserved it, like you said, at least 5 games, because now you incite, like, not only are you, like, you know, all the players are huddled up, you inciting kind of like a riot situation on the floor. It's fans involved now because, you know, like, fans, we know how they get. They don't know how to control them. There are people that don't know how to control themselves, and we'll talk about a story where that actually happened. And you never know what happened. You heard the announcer like, all fans, please stay in your seats, stay away from the floor. And he's just continuing to incite this. And I just thought it was very dumb of him.
It was very WWE. Yeah. That's what it reminded me of. Like, for real.
Yeah.
Like, he had a pack. It was just like, all right, what's up?
That's exactly what it was. That's a great, perfect comparison.
Yeah.
Jazz still muted.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we're going to talk TV show Dancing with the Stars, crowned a historic champion. This is the W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Don't be depressed, frustrated, or stressed because of the loss of a loved one. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services is here to assist you with a smooth, stress-free transition. It doesn't matter how your loved one transitioned, we will offer you a memorable celebration to your liking. We are a family-friendly, full-service funeral home right here in the heart of the city, offering affordable cremations and package pricing and quality service. Call us when you need us. 816-231-GATE. That's 816-231-4283. There's only one Golden Gate, located at 2800 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Tweet us, text us, message us, send us your topic, and we would definitely talk about it. Hashtag talk about it. Back in on the W Show. Man, Dancing with the Stars. They crowned a historic champion. So season 30 of Dancing with the Stars came to a dramatic end on Monday when Iman Shumpert and partner Daniela versus the heavy hitters, the favorites, JoJo Siwa and Jenna Johnson. And Iman Shumpert came out with the win. Did you guys watch it?
I didn't watch it, but I saw a clip of the final dance, and they did the thing.
Yeah, it was the final dance was pretty cool. And as Iman Shumpert makes history as the first former NBA star to win the Dancing with the Stars trophy. Congrats to him, though.
So he got a future. He got a future in dance, huh? What y'all think? Because I saw the clips too. He was doing this thing.
Yeah, he was pretty dope.
Yeah, that's a nice check for him and his family too.
Mm-hmm. How much do you get to win the Dancing with the Stars?
I'm not sure, but if you just look at the endorsements and he'll get some different type of deals from this, and then his wife now opening her own production company.
Really?
Yeah, it's a lot that can be done with that. Yeah.
All right, LeBron back again in our headlines. He has 2 Pacers fans ejected. So during the overtime of the Los Angeles Lakers win over the Pacers, LeBron pulled the referee Randy Mott over to complain about comments from 2 Pacers fans sitting courtside, and those fans were ejected with the woman making a fake crybaby face on her way out.
Good, get them out of here. We don't need them in our game, and never invite them back. Don't let them get courtside tickets nowhere else. That's the way I feel about it personally.
Yeah, they should be banned from all NBA events. And if the NBA and the NFL worked hand in hand, they should be banned from those events too, because there's no place in an arena or a public setting where you pay some money to go tell a player that you hope that their kid dies, and that's not cool. Like, you can trash talk and do all that, but that clearly that shows two people that are unathletic and have probably never done anything athletic in their life. Because if you have to stoop that low to trash talk somebody, you clearly don't understand the game or the sport or the culture at all.
Yeah, and piggyback on what you said, Q. I think it kind of taints the people being able to sit that close to players. Like, you guys feel like, all right, I'm entitled, right? I paid $25,000 per ticket to come in here, and I can say and do whatever it is that I want to do. Nah, player, that ain't how it works. You're not gonna sit up here and tell these athletes who work hard day in and day out how they should play the game. I understand you're a fan of the team, but you never see who's some of the bigger names that sit courtside. You never see Spike Lee, those guys. They may have some words, but they're not. All right,
it's never disrespectful.
Crash. Yeah, no, I don't agree with that. But
like, you can see the demographic. This is what I point to. You see the demographic. You see who it is, who getting thrown out of these games. So
it's the privilege of being white too, like, because we've seen players talk about how racist fans are in Boston, in Utah. I mean, really across the nation. And so you have these two that probably have been sitting courtside and heard all of that. So they was just like, oh, it's open season. We could say whatever.
Right.
So yeah, it's just a culture that has built off of centuries of privilege.
Now, police and Vikings reps at Everson Griffin's home after he reported intruder and fired a weapon. Griffin reported intruder in the early morning hours, and law enforcement officers reported to the home but said they didn't find anyone. Griffin remained in his home and refused to come out, they said. No, we'll start with you.
It's another one of those situations where mental health comes into the fray. These guys seem to be under a whole lot of pressure, and sometimes it sends people to dark places. And I'm just kind of glad he's okay. Nobody got hurt. They managed to get him out of his house. Nobody got shot at. There wasn't a tragic end to this situation. So I'm just kind of glad, and just kind of everybody just kind of, keep an eye on yourself. Your mental health is really all you have, because he has a very high profile job. I'm sure he doesn't have a whole lot of privacy, a lot of times, but it's just one of those things where he's just got to, start thinking about himself. He might have to start being selfish with his mental health, because you don't want to be in that place. You don't want to be in a dark place like that, because the people who are coming in, the police, they don't know what's going on. They're just there to a disturbance, or they were called. They have no idea what's happening. So a situation like this can end very, very badly if it's not handled correctly. So I'm just glad he's okay, honestly.
And I hope the representatives that stepped in to realize that it might be a problem and not just looking at him as like, oh, he's tripping or he's crazy or he has to be on something. Like, I hope they are attentive to things that he could be going through, not just that, oh, this was a bogus call that they got.
Yeah, definitely. Because I even kind of touched on it when we were talking about St. Louis and getting that money, because had the reps not been sent, had the team psychologist not been sent over there, what would the police have done with a black man with a gun? So it just it further proves the point, that police need to have those funds allocated to mental health services, and not just sending a hammer to go take care of every situation and every call. So yeah, like Noel said, the focus on mental health definitely needs to be there. And and really emphasized on. Like, we're emphasizing taunting, but the NFL needs to be emphasizing the mental health of their players, not only just while they're playing, but before they get into the league and then after they're in the league.
Yeah, he's definitely a veteran in the NFL. And the thing about it is, like Jazz said, I hope that the team really looks at it, not in a football sense, right? Looks at it as, all right, he really needs some help, because he went through a similar situation, I believe, back in 2018, where he had to take a step back from the game of football. And I hope, that he's able, and the team gets him the help that he needs, and he doesn't have to fit the bill for it, because he does still work for them. And this is during season, and it shouldn't matter if it's during season or not, but it is during season, so it's basically during work hours, right? That this is happening to him, and I hope that they put some money towards, all right, Russ, it's bigger than football. I mean, Everson, it's bigger than football. We're going to get you the help that you need. Don't worry. Take the time that you need. We'll be here when you get back. Like, your position will be here when you get back. And I think that's a lot of times why some players just kind of hide it, because they're looked at as, when I'm weak, or now I may, if I don't make this tackle, how am I going to be looked at? Because, I came out and said that I'm having trouble the day before, right? My mental health awareness. So I hope that more players are able to come out, and a guy like Everson Griffin, who's been in the league over 10 years, who's respected, can be a catapult to say, all right, well, I've had these issues. This is what I'm dealing with. This is what I have dealt with. Now I can be a spokesman, so people, more athletes can come out and get some help if they need it.
Definitely.
For sure. Now we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll have our Hate It or Love It segment, kick it off with our Sneakers of the Week.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Don't be depressed, frustrated, or stressed because of the loss of a loved one. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services is here to assist you with a smooth, stress-free transition. It doesn't matter how your loved one transitioned, we will offer you a memorable celebration to your liking. We are a family-friendly, full-service funeral home right here in the heart of the city, offering affordable cremations and package pricing and quality service. Call us when you need us. 816-231-GATE. That's 816-231-4283. There's only one Golden Gate, located at 2800 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it. Message us, and we will talk about whatever topic you want.
Hate it.
It's that time for Love It or Hate It.
Hate it.
If we love it, we talk about it. If we hate it, we move on.
Starting off the Sneakers of the Week, we have the Nike Dunk High and Low University Gold.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of feeling
nice.
I'm feeling these. I like the lows better than I do the highs, but yeah, these are dope.
I'll take both.
Yeah, I definitely take both. I definitely like the highs though.
Easy Boost 700 Fade Azure.
I'm rocking.
Yeah, these are dope.
The color is where it's at. I've rarely seen that color before. So
Yeah,
I like
that
it.
teal hits.
Yeah, gives you that Miami vibe.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite this week, Air Jordan 1 Mid SC Dark Chocolate.
I like these.
Wintertime
I like
shoes.
these, especially. Yeah, I definitely like these in the winter. You could really do a monochrome fit with this one. Really go
Okay,
all
okay.
brown. Yeah, I'm feeling it.
For sure. Last but not least, the Sakai Cause Nike Blazer Low Neptune Blue, and Team Red.
Might be my favorites this week.
Yeah,
Yeah, these are nice.
They have some other colors as well, but yeah, these are hot. I could definitely wear these.
I think I said it last year, man, but Blazers are becoming one of my favorite shoes, man. I just need to buy a pair.
You do.
Yeah.
Now, Kyle Kuzma turns heads with wild outfit before Wizards game. Hated or love it.
You didn't cut out half the sweater.
Yeah.
The sweater
Yeah,
is double as big as that is.
Yeah, Steve cut out the important part. But no, I mean that's fashion. When you look at, we just had some Yeezys on. When you look at Yeezy season that started, what was it, like 2014 or 15, when he really started doing the holes in the clothes and very oversized looks. This is the transition of fashion. We're going from, tailored shirts and all of that to now everything's oversized and baggy, and it's that we've gone through those early 90s trends, and now we're going to the mid to late 90s trends, and it's just being exaggerated. So yeah, I wonder what designer paid him to wear that, because that's some.
I'll wear it. Pay me, I'll wear it. Yeah, pay me, I'll wear it, man. I don't care.
Why not?
I didn't hear him say pay me, but you ain't wearing it for free.
For free. I mean, if you give it to me for free, yeah, I'll wear it. It's for free.
Yeah.
Maybe
and then
once.
I look at that as like an overcoat almost. It's like you could kind of have a little fly shirt underneath it, and you get in the club and you take that off, and now you got this fly shirt, this big oversized little blanket, and it does get cold in the club, and sometimes in those arenas, that AC starts blowing, and it's November.
And it could be a sweater for two. You know what I'm saying? You and your lady, you go out, watch you a football game, say, hey, you cold, baby? Go ahead, get up under this sweater right quick.
No, it's a designer. It's a designer snuggie. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Kyle Kuzma's in the future.
He's living in 2050 for sure.
Yeah.
Nah.
Kuzma 3000.
Yep.
Nah, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
And now JJ Redick argues with Stephen A. Smith for saying NBA players don't fear LeBron James. Hated or love it.
I mean, I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I like JJ like getting in there, and because I love his podcast. His podcast is one of the best out there as far as NBA content goes. But I like JJ getting in there and really getting on TV. And he not going for the Stephen A. like, this is what it's gonna be. He gonna argue back, and I like that. Yeah. So I hope JJ stays. I like JJ on First Take.
No, definitely. And JJ's been around a lot of cool like NBA players, especially in his time in the league, but then also going back to Duke. And just being around that. Yeah, he knows the real. Stephen A. don't really know the real. He just talks loud. And he's a good journalist. Like we can't take it. We can't take that from him. And he's a good journalist. But you look at the projection, a lot of different personalities, especially around sports, that are older and really love Jordan. Like they put all of the Jordan expectations on LeBron, and they want LeBron to be this, like, fit this mold that Jordan made. And LeBron kind of has lightweight been running from it, because LeBron is not the rule with an iron fist type of guy. And to say players fear LeBron James, that's the wrong word. That, like, players respect LeBron James, but I don't think they fear him at all.
No, he said they don't fear him like they did. Like players fear Jordan, like they fear Kobe. You could throw Shaq out there.
In that sense,
Yeah.
yes, they do. I mean, because and I wouldn't say fear, but it's like you have a respect for his game because you know he's LeBron. Like he doesn't become LeBron from that. But yeah, that's Stephen A. just always is on the wrong side of the fence for me now.
I mean, to be honest, I agree with Stephen A. Smith. Now, I don't always agree with what Stephen A. Smith is saying, but like when you think about it, players don't really fear LeBron James like that.
No, and I wouldn't say fear. I think fear is the wrong word.
And I even you can even throw out you could throw intimidated. I think players aren't really intimidated like they were with Kobe, like they were with Jordan, Shaq. But you gotta think on their end, and this was my whole argument with LeBron. It's like because he didn't have the kill or be killed mentality. He didn't have that killer, like, oh, I'm gonna go out there and I'm killing you each and every day. That's the reason why players are kind of like, all right, well, we got these friendships, and the league, all across the league, it's too friendly, to be honest. But I mean, you still have those guys, Rondo, guys like that who just don't care. But I think honestly, I can agree with Stephen A. Smith. The players don't fear LeBron James like other players fear some of the other guys in the league.
Yeah, and I can agree with that to an extent.
I don't agree with it, and here's my thing why. And me and Steve, we discussed the thing about while LeBron James's game is built on passing and getting everybody involved and trying to play basketball, quote unquote, the right way, I guess. And whereas we have Jordan and Kobe, who like people were scared of them, quote unquote, because I know you're probably scared of him like scoring on you. Like if he scores on you every time, you're going to be, I guess, like I said, quote unquote, scared. But here's where I don't agree with it. I think when it comes to players today, the players that LeBron James is are his peers, the Kevin Durant's, the Steph Curry's, the Kobe to an extent. We hear about those guys' obsessive work ethic. We hear about those guys, obsessing over the game of basketball. It comes to a point where they match LeBron in how hard they work. When it came to Jordan, like who were his peers that were working as hard as him? Who were his people that were like, all right, well, I'm gonna go just as hard as I know Jordan waking up at 3, so I'm waking up at 3. Like there were none of those guys back there. You don't hear about that. Now, I'm not saying that his era didn't work hard. I'm saying Jordan was the obsessive one. Jordan was I'm the only person here that does this to the extent that I do this. When we look at this era now, it's all these kids are in the gym. All these kids are working out. All these kids are trying to get a check. All of them are hungry and all of them are talented physically. So it's like how much more LeBron can't go above the competition because he's reached the ceiling. Like everybody is like there. So when I say fear, I feel like players back then feared Jordan because they didn't put in the hours that Jordan put in. And that's just simply what it was. Like they just didn't work as hard as Jordan worked. Whereas when we got LeBron over here, he's got peers galore and they're all working hard, just as hard as he is. LeBron is only ahead because physically he is one of one. So that's just where that argument was for me. I was like, that's all that is. People only fear Jordan because they weren't in the gym like he was.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I don't feel like it was that. I mean, you feared that guys were in the gym. I mean, you can't say
like Jordan was though. Like I'm talking obsessively in the gym. Like you don't hear any players besides him from that era say that.
There were a lot of players that were
they worked hard
at the top. The players that were at the top of the game. You could think of Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas. He was obsessed with the game. Guys like that were really like, all right, we gonna beat you because you beat us. And those guys weren't like the whole Detroit Pistons. They didn't fear Jordan at all. Like they as a whole team, none of those guys feared.
Yeah, but I'm
talking individuals. I'm talking individuals.
Yeah, but individuals. There were guys that I mean, you can't say that they didn't work as hard or even obsessed over it because I feel like they did. I feel like there were a lot of guys that were in the league that were like, all right, yeah.
So how did Jordan manage to beat keep a whole generation from getting championships. Like how if you're really obsessing over the game and Jordan beats you one time, how are you not coming back next year? Like, I'm gonna do whatever I got to do to kill this dude. Like, I don't care if I have to tackle him out of the air. Like that's what
like that was Isaiah.
But they were beating. But they were okay. So they were beating him. So now we have a whole next generation of NBA stars. None of them decided, you know what? Like, we gonna do whatever we can to beat him. I don't care if we have to team up. I don't care if we have to like. So that's my point. Like,
so to answer your question, here comes Kobe. Here comes Allen Iverson. I mean, Drake made a whole song. You got an AI for your survival. So I mean, there were players that were just obsessive that are like, all right, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna make sure that I'm not gonna fear you.
So that's after Jordan. That's after Jordan. I'm talking about those generation of stars that were the Clyde Drexlers, the Charles Barkleys, the Sean Kemps, Gary Paytons, those guys that John Stockton, Karl Malone, those guys he kept from getting chips. Like,
he sunned a lot of people. Yeah,
he sunned all them dudes. That's impossible for LeBron to do. It's literally impossible because it's too many of guys who are trying to be what LeBron is.
Yeah.
It's super impossible now because he's gotten older. But
even back then, it was impossible. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it.
Yeah, Kobe would have kept him from a lot. But
anyways, man.
Now Titans waive Adrian Peterson 3 weeks after signing former league MVP. Hated it.
Oh man, dang!
It's crazy because now there's reports that Adrian Peterson's looking at some other teams that may want to pick him up.
Really?
But I think they just kind of wanted to fill that void. Of Derrick Henry, and now I mean it's being reported that Derrick Henry is going to be able to come back before the end of the season, which is kind of crazy to me too.
It is.
Yeah.
I thought he was out for at least until the playoffs. That's what they were kind of saying.
Yeah.
He's coming back. Oh wow,
man. Some guys just take care of their bodies, and their bodies have quick recovery times. And we're talking about a guy, Adrian Peterson. Like, he came back in 6 months from
after a broken, something like that.
It was something
like
ridiculous,
like that TO deal.
Like it's just some guys that just their recovery time and the way they take care of themselves is second to none.
And medicine helps out a lot too. You got all that like dry needling stuff. You got
man, that hurts. Dry needling hurts. I'm just letting y'all know if you ever decide to do it, like,
no, thank you.
Oh my God, it's man.
Now, Taysom Hill, New Orleans Saints agreed to 4-year, $40 million contract extension. Hate it or love it.
Stealing money.
Get your money, young man.
Money.
He's like, I get it though. I'm glad he is getting paid, but what is his role in this? On the Saints, like, let's be honest, like, to warrant such a huge amount of money.
They aren't even confident in him being a starter, and they gave him this contract. Because
even if he plays let's say he starts quarterback, okay, he's not a good starter. We know that already. But are you expecting him to, while he's playing quarterback, you expect him to be the H-back or play running back or play tight end all in the same game?
Gadget player.
And you're expecting him to be your starter? Like, I don't get it. But, I don't own an NFL team. I don't run an NFL team. So maybe I'm the stupid one.
He's like the ultimate like role player. He can do whatever you ask him to do. If you want him to line up as wide receiver, he'll go line up at wide receiver, running back, QB. He's that ultimate gadget player. Sometimes you got to pay for talent.
I guess. I feel like
he's not winning them games though. So
I would say that much. I feel like there's a litany of other NFL players who can do the same thing and do it very well. So
Baker Mayfield's wife says Brown should take the hit and get tougher like the injured QB. You hate it or love it.
This was a goofy choice.
I hate it.
What's up with NFL wives, man? What's going on? Stop talking.
Because it seems like none of them care anything about the game outside of their spouses. and that was just that was a egregious. Like Baker Mayfield's the tough guy. Okay.
But here's the thing though, like she didn't even post it. She shared somebody else's post, which
That's a post. That counts as a post. That counts as a
That's
post.
why I was like, what? Why y'all tripping on this? But yeah, she just shared a post. So I guess she's like, oh, well, I feel the same way. Is that like, so if you share somebody's post, that makes it
that's your like, it's basically like you're saying those words. That would be like me quoting somebody else in real life conversation. So she shouldn't have posted that. She shouldn't have said that at all. Like, why would you say that when guess who protects your husband Sunday for 90 plays? Like who like come on, like just shut up.
While he can't complete a pass to a superstar wide receiver, a one-on-one wide receiver. Come on now, please.
He's so unlikable right now. He's so unlikable. It's crazy. Like, I've never seen it because when he first started out, everybody was like, oh, yeah, Baker, he's cool. He plays quarterback. He has swag. Now it's like he's the annoying white guy at the office.
That mask got ripped off.
Oh, man. Dog is terrible.
Stephen Curry passes Scottie Pippen on all-time scoring list. Hate it or love it.
Good job, Steph.
I love
it. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Love it. It goes to show you too, like to me, I feel like I was on this call, when was it, last week, and they were asked who's the face of the NBA, like right now. Who would you guys say is the face of the NBA?
Right now?
Probably still LeBron.
It's hard to argue LeBron, and he's definitely not even the best. He's probably not even top 5 NBA players right now, like just right now. But he's still the face because people still ask him all the questions. People go to him for all the quotes. Like when there's videos posted, it's of stuff that he does, even if he didn't have a good game. Like he's still kind of the face.
Yeah, I think, and when I said that my answer to that was Steph Curry. And the reason I say that is when I look at the face of the league, you look at, generations, right? You look at like who kids want to be, like who the kids want to be growing up when Michael Jordan was playing. They grew up and wanted to be Michael Jordan. Now Steph, I mean, I think LeBron is a little bit past that. Steph right now, he still appeals to the younger generation of like, oh man, I can shoot, he can shoot, he's swag, whatever it is. That's who they, and I don't think they can really. And another argument was Giannis. I don't really feel like people understand.
You can't beat Giannis.
I don't feel like people understand Giannis. Yeah. So in Steph's more of 6'5", 6'4", or whatever he is. I think
he's shorter than that. He's like 6'2", 6'3".
So, and they can see like, all right, as long as I can go out there and figure out how to shoot, how to handle, I can be Steph. So I think that's why that was my argument, the reason why he was Steph basically. But congrats to him though.
Fire Najee chants popping up everywhere, including at his son's high school game. Hate it or love
it. I mean, he needs to go. He needs to go. He's a guy that got a job over Eric Bieniemy, and he needs to go. Like, it's plain and simple.
Yeah, man, that's rough. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I mean, unless because it's not like he's doing anything like bad or illegal or anything. He has a bad, football team right now, and he's not coaching very well. But to have it at his son's high school game, oh my God.
Yeah, and it wasn't only at his son's game. It also happened at the Bulls getting blown out by the Pacers. And Fire Nagy chant, broke out during the fourth quarter of the Bulls game. So like these fans across all sports in Chicago want Matt Nagy gone.
I mean, Chicago's a town that wins. And the Bears haven't won in a long time, but it's like, hey, this guy is contributing to this losing legacy. And yeah, we get him out of here because he's a loser.
It stinks though, because for the quarterback Fields, man, because he's gonna have to go through this again. Like they're gonna get rid of the coach, the offensive coordinator, all of that stuff, and he has to start all again over from scratch. So
and that's probably gonna work out for him.
I hope
love
it does.
because it's
I hope it does.
It's a fresh new start in his second season, early in his
Mhm.
career, and he doesn't have to battle a Mitchell Trubisky or a Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Trash.
Yeah, and but they're what, 2 games out of second in the AFC North.
A terrible AFC North.
I mean, they could still make a wild card berth if they'd have to win out. I think they could still, get into possibly a wild card. So I mean, it's a little early to say, all right, fire Matt Nagy. And with the crazy thing was, there was a report that came out that said Matt Nagy was going to be fired after their last game
a couple of days ago. They said he was supposed to be fired a couple of days ago.
Yeah, and everybody up to I think even the organization denied that. Like everybody involved was like, we don't know where that came from. So
when there's smoke, there's fire. Q, you know that.
Well, I mean, the fans see it, but the team didn't put that out. So
now, Green Bay Packers Aaron Rodgers says his toe is fractured, puts barefoot in front of camera to clear up COVID toe disinformation.
This dude is weird.
Oh, now he wants to present evidence. Oh, okay.
This dude is so strange, man. Because I really liked Aaron Rodgers before this year. Now I'm just kind of like, who is this guy? Like, he's so strange.
Yeah, but he joked about it when he was on the Pat McAfee show. He joked about it. So it's like, all right, if you're gonna joke about it, some people are gonna take it seriously. Like, you're gonna say, oh, I got COVID toe. It's a symptom that come from when I was positive with COVID. So now I got this thing called COVID toe. People were like, what? So the Wall Street Journal, they took the comments that he said as facts. Like, it's your body. You're a professional athlete. You're Aaron Rodgers. And they ran with it. And now
read the room.
Yeah.
Read the room.
He's like, oh, well, it ain't COVID toe. I was just joking. See, I have my foot, my toe is actually like fractured. Get out of here.
Hated it.
Hate it, bro.
Come on.
Hate it.
Yeah. But they're still winning. So I guess it is what it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, he is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. We can't take that away from him, I guess.
Yeah.
The reluctance.
Yeah, nah.
All right. We appreciate everybody who joined in on and watched today's show. Follow us, like us on social media at the W Show KC. What do you guys have planned for the rest of the day?
Watching the 48th annual Bayou Classic. Go Jags.
What time is the game?
I think it's like a 2:30 start. It's usually like 1:30, 2:30, somewhere in there.
Real quick before we get out of here, I recommend watching Selena. Watch Selena on Netflix. They have a series. Selena, pretty dope.
I might have to check that out because I always love the movie.
Yeah, Amaya's got me watching it, so we've been doing that, and it's pretty dope. So go check it out. All right, until next week, we are out of here.
The views and opinions expressed on the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundation, or affiliates.